No, Ricky, you don't owe me anything. Trust me. It's totally up to you, but that's not anything you need to bring up or think about. If you bring up a subject, like predestination or foreknowledge, and I can do it, then, I'll do it. Especially if it's something I haven't done in a while, But um, sometimes I can't, right? Sometimes people want me to do subjects about things, and it just isn't going to happen. So I try to do what I can. Nobody owes anybody anything. You can bring up subjects, and they either get discussed or they don't. It's pretty much that simple. Of course, we'll do our best to try to address everything, but I don't think anything is really outside of anyone's ability to obtain knowledge and understand. Often, it can be the opportunities are limited, right? Maybe you don't have as much time. You're busy with work. You have family. Not everybody's circumstances allow for uh, the gaining of deep knowledge on certain subjects. So, nevertheless, and there are times when people just they don't want to find out, right? Like we were talking about yesterday. Sometimes it's not so much people can't understand; they don't want to, right? So, um, here what we try to do in really every show, but even though this one is focused on questions about foreknowledge and predestination, which we'll get to, give people a few minutes to join, and you can put down whatever you want. Try to put that, if you have questions or text, you should put it down in there. Try to make it text specific, right? Because we are talking about the Bible, basically. I understand the beliefs have become associated with different denominations, Protestant and Catholic. So, nevertheless, and other groups, if we just make it text specific, I think it's the best way. If you want to bring it up in association with a particular group's view, that's fine. But the text, if it's not a biblical text we can consider relative to the issue or view, then it's not really that's not going to matter, is it? Not really, because we're here for the Bible. We're here to primarily discuss the Bible. We do discuss other things, so it's not like impossible to discuss the issues of foreknowledge and predestination apart from the Bible. It's just that's really the issue, isn't it? The issue is, what does the Bible tell us? And I don't think it's really that complicated when, it's like with the Trinity. It is and it is. It's become complicated because of the debate and the differences of opinion and the development of different ideas about God, things that we know very little about, nothing really experientially, right? We've never been in a spirit form. We don't know what it's like to be in a godlike form. There are concepts associated with God, his knowledge, his abilities that are beyond our ability to understand. They don't relate to what we do on the same scale or degree in ways where we can be like, okay, yeah, that totally makes sense. Now, I think what is revealed to us, okay, so while we don't have this full understanding of metaphysics and God's power and full range of what he can do and know, we do have revealed in the Bible examples, texts, accounts that tell us, or at least I believe, show us what is going on, right? In terms of that we can understand and relate to without having to. The problem is once you go beyond, whether it's with the Trinity, one God the Father, or Son, Holy Spirit, or whatever else, once you go beyond what's actually in the Bible, or that can be reasonably be shown to be the teaching of the Bible, which would be in its purest form a text that's word for word what your belief is. But it's not like you can't, if you don't have that, gain an understanding or belief from the aggregate of text pertaining to a subject in the shared authority. I believe in terms of the Bible as our shared authority, we do have examples and accounts and texts that tell us enough to where we can say, well, this seems to be what God is doing and telling us. Now, I don't think it's helpful to really get deep into it and divide over it. It can happen so easily, right? Like with anything. Everyone can have their view, right? We're not here to control people's thoughts. We are here to promote shared belief in three things above all else. If you're a Christian witness of Jah, one God the Father, Jah, Jah-ol, Yah-ol. It's okay to use other forms of the name, but we believe in those forms above all else. Sent forth Savior, Jesus, Messiah. We believe pre-exists as a spirit son of God, became a man, was raised to life again as spirit. Last Adam, who died and became a life-giving spirit. Either way, our third belief is the golden rule. Treat each other the way you want to be treated, which is hard to do at times because we're imperfect and we live in a world that's pressure-filled and difficult, especially if you're a Christian, but we do understand that it's the best way. Right? If we can gain control of ourselves and manage people around us and live by that principle, even if others aren't, well, that's going to keep us from a lot of problems. Now, before we get into the whole subject of, foreknowledge and predestination, it's so interesting to me, I've in my comments community section, I'll bring it up in a moment, I posted an article about these criminal idiots, these just complete morons. And if you don't think they are, you have a problem also, right? You don't even know what you're doing. You can't understand. If you read the Bible, like you actually have read the book of Proverbs, and you don't understand that two idiots driving their car and intentionally ramming an elderly retired police officer in the bike lane and killing him while filming themselves doing it and talking like babbling retards doesn't mean they are dumb, like stupid, like the way the book of Proverbs presents the dummies, right? The stupid ones, the retards, okay? The ones who are like gone, right? It's over. Who I like to call the stupids, right? They're gone. If you're driving your car with your friend, dorking around and laughing as you're about to murder an elderly retired police officer while he's in the bike lane on his bike, you're an idiot. You're gone, right? You're fully gone. The only one who's probably worse than you is this guy. Oh my gosh. It's one of those things I look at and think, what's happening, right? What's going on? Because this shouldn't be possible that I post something like that, right? Like I just said, I'm going to show it to you right now. It shouldn't be possible for me to post something like this, right? I posted 12 hours ago, like you can see. I also tweeted it, basically the same thing. It shouldn't be possible for me to do this and get the responses I received. I'm going to show them to you. It's unbelievable. It's over, everybody. You have to be careful. People are gone. They're not just so far gone, they're like criminally retarded. And they spend their time gleefully murdering elderly people. Are you effing out of your mind? Are you crazy to take issue with me over something like that? Are you gone? What do you know people who are this retarded and stupid and criminal? That's the only excuse I can think of for someone to be this idiotic that you're going to see in a moment and actually take issue with me for calling two murderous morons murderers of an elderly person Hey, do you know what the Bible says about elderly people? You know what happened when kids taunted Elisha? Yeah, Jah sent bears down to rip them to pieces and devour them. Yeah, I think me calling them idiot criminals and retards is so getting off easy, right? Isn't it worse to actually drive up behind an elderly person on a bike and murder them? And then tape yourself because you're so stupid, and then put it on social media because you are a full retard. Gone, right? Over and out. Roger Ramjet, right? There's no one home. Gone. It's game over. You put them out. They're gone. Their mom, everyone supporting them, gone. Their mom is a liar. She knows and saw the video and she doesn't care. She raised a criminal moron who murdered an elderly man. What do you, I can't believe how stupid some of you people are. You're dumber than this murderous criminal moron. Spending your time and taking issue with me, huh? Over something like that? Unbelievable stuff. I wrote, when the mother of a retarded criminal idiot, like I've been talking about, the real dumb moron kook, so stupid he thought he could get away with it, film himself, and be out in 2 months. I call that a retard. Yeah, the only one dumber than that is you, who would dare come here and actually publicly show how stupid you are to take issue with me. For what? For calling them criminal idiot retards after murdering an elderly person who had no idea they were behind him in a car laughing like morons, like rejects? When the mother of a retarded criminal idiot reveals where he got his supreme stupidity from. That's me. And then the article, Mom of Punk, who allegedly recorded hit and run on retired police chief, claims media lies. Says truth will come out. Yeah, we already know. We saw the video. Your son lies. You lie. You're criminal and you're dumb. You're either a full retard mom and you raised a full retard son, or you're not retards and you're beyond criminally recoverable, right? You're evil beyond compare. You actually knew what you were doing because you're not a retard. So which is it? Are you rejects? Are you retards? Or do you actually know what you're doing? When you murdered an elderly person on a bicycle, is that the son you wanted to raise, you retarded criminal mom? Yeah, we had another idiot out here in Los Angeles, California. Drove up and shot a police officer sitting at a light. Claimed he was hearing voices, schizophrenic, had tons of weapons at his house, and his mom and his sister are so stupid, they can't figure out that when you have that many guns and you're an idiot who hears voices, you got a problem. You got an idiot reject son who needs medication or worse. And you took him off it because what? She said they thought he was doing better. Yeah, you thought wrong because you're stupid, right? That shows how dumb you are. You're so dumb, you don't even know your son is about to go kill a cop because he's off his medication because you can't tell the difference because you're stupid. You can't tell he's about to do something wrong, all these guns, he's off his medication, you're stupid. Okay, you're an idiot mom. You should be ashamed of yourself, put in prison for the rest of your life with your retard son. And try to help him feed himself, he's so dumb. Okay, so anyone who would stick up for people like this are more pathetic than is describable. And you're going to see one right now. So we have this story though, right? Let's go ahead before we get to the whole, predestination stuff, because this came up on my community. We give people time. There's the retards, the retard reject on the left and the idiot moron on the right. Two of the dumbest people in human history filmed themselves rolling up behind an elderly person on a bike and murdered him. These two kooks and their stupid parents deserve the worst possible punishment. They're morons. They're idiots. What's redeemable? What's not retarded? The part where they were recording themselves doing the crime? That's not retarded, huh? The part where they actually committed the crime, where they thought while laughing, let's just, as they said in the video, hit him as they did and murdered him. Is that the part? Does that qualify as a reject? How about the part where afterwards, he's so stupid, he thinks after he murders someone, he can get 2 months and he's out. Okay, there's 3 strikes and you're out. He's a reject, okay? They're retards. You don't understand that? What's a retard to you then? We're not talking about mentally disabled people. You stupid SOB. Taking issue with me over these idiots, these criminal morons who murdered an elderly man. Where's your comments about that? Where's your comments about how stupid they are and criminal according to Proverbs? You ever read the book of Proverbs? Because you talked about the Bible and how I helped you with it. Yet you never read Proverbs, huh? Full retard. Okay, there's a video here. You can see these dorks, two of the stupidest idiots on the planet, gleefully murdering a retired police officer. And then we get this dork I'm going to show you in a moment. This guy took his time, actually took his time to come to my channel and say this. Of course, we got Bankhead who clearly understands. We've got retards, okay? It's time to stop being soft on rejects. That's how we get all this abusive stuff. Like I tell this guy, these people are so cowardly. They'll come after me, but they won't say one thing about those criminal idiots who killed someone innocently for fun. Yeah, I call that dumb, okay? Read the book of Proverbs. You know how many times it refers to murderous people as stupid ones, idiots, morons, foolish? Yeah, I didn't think so because you're one of them. You'd have to be this stupid. J.K. Bugo, as someone who loves your work and has benefited from your labors, but just now sees your channel. Okay, so what? Just my books and articles and stuff? I'm surprised that you post such things. What? An article about 2 criminal idiots intentionally mowing down a retired police officer and killing him, and then gleefully laughing about it as they film themselves, publish it on social media, get caught and think they'll be out in 2 months? You think me calling them a retarded criminal idiot isn't deserving? Okay, I think you're wrong. So what? So you came to my channel and you decided all the help I gave you was worth you taking issue over this? I mean, it's unbelievable. I'm surprised you post such things. Why? I'm taking issue with 2 idiots that if their parents had actually told them what I'm telling you, which anyone can see because of what they did and do, might have helped them, might have gotten through. If your mom would have told them, hey, you're an idiot. Hey, you're stupid. You don't do that stuff. Maybe he would have realized how dumb he was and actually gotten a job and not mowed down a retired elderly police officer and murdered him. SOB, taking issue with me or things like this. After all I did, you admitted. You're unbelievable. It's people like you that help destroy this world. It's people like you that help these false religions and pathetic leaders continue because you're so afraid to confront the real issue. And then when people like I do, you take issue with me and you don't even have a reason. Look at you. It seems like such a detraction. Really? It seems or it is? Which is it? Is it you or is it me? It sounds like an opinion. It's not an objective fact. Why are you telling me your opinion? Did I ask for your opinion? Do I even know you? Do you know me? Why are you giving me your opinion? Do you have a fact or not? You don't even present it as a fact. It seems like a detraction from what? I'm talking about a very specific article. If you don't want to read my comment about the article, don't. Are you a baby? Are you like a toddler that you can't stop focusing on something if you don't want to read it? You can't just read the things that interest you and like you I get to have my own opinion. I get to like what music I like. I get to like what articles I like. I get to comment and be negative about things I don't like. I'm a real person. I have opinions. I have likes. I do what I want to do, like you. But you're such a coward. You have to take issue with me, even though I don't even know about you. I wouldn't even be thinking about you if you hadn't come to me and nobody asked you to. And yet here you are, talking about how you're distracted. Well, you're a baby. Okay, you need help. If you can't focus on things and let me have an opinion about two retarded criminals, you need help. No one can help you, though, that I know. So what are you doing here? Watch the videos and go, suck your thumb. I don't know what to tell you. But why are you talking to me about this stuff? It's a baby. Not trying to put you down. Well, I don't care what you're trying to do. This is putting me down. And if you can't see that, you're dumber than I thought, right? It's like you want everything to be your way. I have to do everything the way you want. Why do I post such things? Why do I even have a life? You're not trying to put me down, but you put me down. You're just someone who sees the quality of my scholarship. Well, good for you. So why are you commenting on my opinion about two retarded criminals? What does that have to do with my scholarship? What are you conflating the two for? Are you that stupid you can't see that people can have an opinion on criminals and life and society and also have opinions about the Bible and scholarship about beliefs and translations? I mean, you look like you're at least 15 or 16, maybe 20, 21. Now that I look a little closer, but either way, it's hard to tell some of these days, and your attitude and your actions and your words show you are dumb, right? This is beyond incredible. You are getting into the mud with the ignorant. I'm not doing any such thing except doing that with you. I'm commenting on two retarded criminals who murdered a retired elderly police officer, you SOB, you son of a bitch. How dare you come to me with this crap? You need to grow up and get a life. You're unbelievable. I don't say this to puff you up. Puff me up? Are you not able to even write something and then just leave it at that? The hell are you doing reading into my thoughts? Puffing me up? How would you know if it's puffing me up? Are you inside my head? Do you feel my thoughts? No. No, you're a pathetic SOB like I've been telling you. I'm sure you know that your work is a product of your walk with and submission of God. Well, if you're sure I know that, why are you telling me? Everything you wrote here is dumb. It's low level and retarded. It shows you need help. You need a therapist. You don't follow anything you say. You don't point out one problem. I said this to him. Man, this guy, these people are retarded. They're literally dumb. DAF, okay? You haven't identified one single problem with what I wrote. So you're clearly insecure about the topic. Think I care about your non-factual opinion. Why is that? Ignores all kinds of things. I point out Jesus called people hypocrites, dead graves with dead people's bones, destroyed the market, whipped people. Did that detract people from his message? It's what I asked him. All he said was Jesus did call people hypocrites, but he told his disciples not to be caught up in the cares of his life. Okay, so why are you caught up in the cares of my life? What does my life have to do with you? What does my opinion or comment about an article and two criminal idiots have to do with you? You're literally going against your own advice to me right here. Okay, this is beyond retarded and ridiculous. So I'm pointing out, you need to be shamed publicly because you came here and exposed yourself publicly. His actions dealt with religious people, not common criminals. I'm just saying that it seems like you have much to contribute, and calling someone retarded for a crime is within your right, but it's really a letdown for me because of how I view your work. I'm not here for you. Guess what? I'm not here to make you feel, you're talking about you puffing me up. I'm not here to puff you up. A letdown? What are you looking up to me in an inappropriate way? That's retarded. You're not supposed to be looking up to anyone. Now, I don't belong to Paul, Apollos, no one. What are you doing? You can't follow a simple biblical teaching and stand on your own with the master and leave people alone? Am I your slave? Well, why are you judging another one's slave? Haven't you read that text? Yeah, it's within my right to call people retarded. It's the equivalent of stupid and idiot and foolish used all over the Bible. You might want to try reading it someday And then you can apply it to people so they don't go out and murder elderly people on a bike. He didn't address common criminals, huh? What do you think he was doing in the temple? Yeah, they're religious people. Well, they were selling merchandise. It doesn't say they were all religious people. And there had to be people who provided those things. Common criminals. Common versus religious is a crime. What are you saying? He was okay with common crime? I mean, what, common crime like petty theft? Or murder? Yeah, SOB? Wasting my time like this, you pathetic bastard? Gosh, man, it almost justifies Sam's behavior. Some of you people are unbelievable. Absolutely pathetic wretches. I mean, this guy is incredible. This guy is incredible, retarded. What good does it do? It helps people understand who's stupid. That's what good it does. Haven't you figured that out? Did you ever figure out what good it does when the book of Proverbs over and over and over and over and over and over and over again says people are stupid, dumb, retarded? What good does that do? It points out who's stupid. That's what it does. And that's what I just did to you. Done and done. That guy really upset me. And he's an SOB. I really despise wicked people like this who come and tell me how I should feel, how they make me feel, when nothing they say is real. It's retarded, right? It's just this moron projecting his stupidity onto me, and I have to take my time and deal with his nonsense. Ricky. I see you, Ricky. I see you. Isaiah 44, 27. I got to talking. How can God predestine events without predestining the people before? Cyrus, for example. Alexander the Great as another. Well, you could use Jesus, right? Right. So in Genesis chapter 3, God prophesied about a seed that would what? It would crush the head of the serpent. It meant that the serpent would bruise him in the heel, right? So Jesus hadn't been born yet, although God, I believe at that time, knew that he would develop through the existing line. Or should he have done what he was going to do at one point, potentially prior to accepting Noah, or after the Hebrews left Egypt but disappointed him? He was going to wipe him out, right? And start over with Moses. But it'd be a little different than totally starting over. Either way, he knew at the point in Eden, I would say, that he was going to bring about a seed, right? And that it would be a human seed that would be bruisable by the serpent and that would crush him in the head. And that was in response to what happened with Adam. So I believe that God knew at that time that he would bring about this human seed, and the Messiah would be tested as a man. So how can God predestine events without predestining the people? Well, I think the question assumes he's not predestining the people, right? So I don't see that that's necessary, Ricky. You can clarify it if you want. If you think maybe you didn't write it correctly or I didn't understand what you wrote, that's fine. Just clarify it. But if I understand what you're saying how can God predestine events without predestining the people beforehand? Cyrus, Alexander, or like I said, Jesus, right? So I don't accept that he doesn't predestine the people. I believe if God foretells something, like predetermines something's going to happen, at that point he knows what's going to happen. Maybe some things haven't happened definitively yet, but I don't see that they wouldn't know who's going to be who. I don't see he knew he was going to bring forth a body through the line of a chosen people and his son from heaven to be the Messiah. So as events started to unfold on the earth after the fall, right after Adam and Eve were kicked out of the garden and began to spread throughout the earth, right? And then your examples, Cyrus and Alexander, go post-flood, so we'll go past the flood, right? All the development of the peoples after Babel, right? That brings in the Persians, the Greeks. So I don't see why at those points when the prophecies were given, whether it was in Isaiah or Daniel or in other books, why they wouldn't have God or the angels he used to communicate to the prophets wouldn't have known who was going to do the things that were being foretold. So I don't accept that as a premise, a working premise to your question. I'm not sure I would even dispute it. I think it's probably the case that God foreknows, actually does know the people who will come to be when he foretells what's going to happen. Okay? All right, let me see what Ricky says. All right, Ricky, you're worrying me here. You're talking about voices. Let me see. I didn't do anything the voices said. You argued with them. Well, that's good. I haven't hurt anyone either. That's good too. Okay, some people are just trolls. That's true, right? And they're gone, right? Don't worry though. When people call me out for things like that, I'm going to make sure I'm going to let them have it. That's just the way I can do what I want to do. If I want to debate a Trinitarian, I can do that. If I want to go feed the poor and not tell anybody about it, I can do that. If I want to go spend my time working, I can do that. I don't have to tell anybody. I can do whatever I want. And as long as it isn't a sin against you, that you can show me, why are you interfering with me at all? How do you not have enough time? How are you not focusing on you? So weird, especially when we look at you. It's pathetic. That's your problem. You don't have enough time to focus on yourself most of the time. So you focus on other people and you project your own insecurities and problems. Right? And then we have to deal with them instead of you. And they're not our problems. Yours. That's what projection's all about. I know. They can't handle it, right? They think because I think they're stupid for murdering an elderly man on a bicycle. They think because I think they're retards for spending their life murdering an elderly person on a bicycle and laughing about it while they tape themselves and uploading it to social media. They think my thinking that's dumb is dumb, I guess, right? So who's dumb here, right? I think it's you. Yeah, I'm positive. It's like no doubt in my mind, okay? If you drive a car and gleefully record yourself mowing down a retired elderly police officer, laughing about it, uploading it to social media, and then after getting caught claiming you'll be out in 2 months, if you do that, I'm sorry. You're dumb. It's just a fact. I don't care if you like it or not. It won't matter. It doesn't matter if you care or not. It's what you are. You're dumb. Yeah, they're not dumb. Oh, yeah. Okay, well, what is it? What are they? Someone would like to give me a description here that actually merits what they did? I use retard, idiot, and criminal. Retard, idiot, criminal. Right, retard in a non-handicapped way. Am I excessive for this case? Someone put it, if you really think so, that's fine. Doesn't mean I agree with you. Let's just break it down, though. I didn't use any profane terms that are inappropriate. No, I'm sorry. It fits. And if you don't like it, I don't care. I'm not here to appease you, right? This is the whole thing, everybody. If you're an adult and you think other adults are like going to listen, you get to tell them what to do and how to act. I never do that. right? Unless it's in a setting or a situation where I'm working with them as a team. We have to present, a message or something. I do my own thing and I let people do their own thing. Are you crazy? What kind of world is this where you people are growing up and becoming adults thinking, this other man lets me down as a man? No, don't have to let no man let me down. Are you freaking crazy? Are you that was a grown man, right? He had a beard. No. How are you letting a grown man let you down? I don't understand. You'd have to be like an early teen, a preteen, or a baby. You're a grown man, huh? And another grown man is letting you down to the point to where you have to publicly comment on it like a baby, when he's only talking about two murderous kooks who did things that are deserving of even worse descriptions than I use. It's incredible. I'm just blown away on a constant basis by the stupidity of people in this world. The things they say, they're just out of control. Seems we're going through my mental problems. I may also be autistic, just so you know. Ricky's talking. Yeah, either Watchtower vibes or like I think George said, or Everett, a criminal type, right? Maybe he's like a criminal, or, I get certain people, there are criminals out there, right? Of course, criminal is a term you can use for a lot of different things, right? He called those murderers. He called these two murderers who did all that stuff. I'm not going to go over it again. Common criminals. Yeah. Yeah, it's just your basic common criminals mowing down elderly people in their car. No big deal, Greg. What are you doing? Letting me down. I'm a grown man. Why don't you have some consideration for my feelings? I'd like to tell you what you could do with your feelings, but I do have some restraint. And short of calling you an SOB and a bastard because of the way you acted and made me think with regard to this subject, I don't have anything else I want to say. It's just like incredible to me. We're even dealing with this kook job stuff at all. Either way. So let me see what else we got here. Let me see what Ricky had to say. See, okay, Ricky. So let's see. Am I missing? Am I missing if Ricky made a response? So I said yes. Apart from the Illumina. Okay. Looks like you guys and Ricky got off on another set of stuff. I want to see if Ricky actually heard what I said about predestinating events and people. Good to see Americana Nationalist, George Lopez, Justin D, Richard God Hawkins, Ricky Eaton, Henry J, Everett, Betsy, Pib, Bankhead. Yeah, I appreciate your comments, Bankhead. It's hard to get people to actually publicly say anything nowadays. And then when you say things, you have to deal with these people. And it drives me a little insane. I needed to let that out because I'm fed up with some of these people. Some of these really weak people who criticize you like that guy did, and others. He's not the only one, but he's like today, most recent. They're just the worst people you can imagine. They don't do what they're supposed to do. And then when you do it, right, whether you do it correctly or imperfect, I think I did it appropriately, right? No one likes to hear those terms, but I'm talking about everyone. I mean, we all know who I'm talking about, right? It's like this guy doesn't, this is common criminals to him. So his mind is gone. I can't even, it's like we were talking about the other day, yesterday with Lil Shaman. We read that. It was like, you can't, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if I give him the link to the article. He can look up the video. He can see how horrific and terrible these events were. It doesn't matter. I'm still the problem. I let him down, not these two murderous criminal kooks. No, I let him down for calling them out publicly and saying they are actual criminal retards. Why? They filmed themselves murdering an elderly retired police officer, laughing about it. Then they uploaded it to social media, which led to their capture, after which they thought they'd be out in 2 months. Yeah, I'm breaking up the R word here, okay? What are you doing bothering me about it? I'm shocked. I just think, I never do that. If I made a comment on someone's channel, it wouldn't be to like inject my opinion about what they should feel. I would just say my opinion, like about the subject. I wouldn't say the person should feel the way or talk the way I want them to. If I didn't like it, I already know that, right? As a grown adult who's like a normal, emotionally developed man, not a baby. I already know that, right? I already know people are different and have a wide range of speaking styles and comments. Some people are more abrasive. Some people are more polite. Some people are more discreet. Some people are more abrupt. Some people are more blunt. Some people are more, quiet. The idea that I should go around and project my preferred personality on people is so odd to me. It suggests I can't appreciate anyone but myself, hence a narcissist, right? Usually it's narcs, emotionally underdeveloped and immature people. They're insecure. They haven't developed security around people that do things they don't do. Hence, they take issue with you doing things they don't do when what you're doing is appropriate for what's being done. It's so weird. All right, where's Ricky? I know he says something. He's talking about a lot of stuff. There were voices also. Okay, let me go down. Yeah, I might be getting to it, Ricky. It's just a lot of stuff. I want to give Ricky the first direct attention because, again, he brought up the other day. We already started out with his question. Okay, he's talking about Enoch. He's talking about. Yeah, I'm reading your comments, Ricky, just to understand, to see where they pick up to what I said, if they do. Ricky has another question, but before I get to that, I want to see if he responded to what I said about the predestination of events and people. Okay. So Ricky, I don't see, I hope, I'm sure you hopefully heard where I did address your original question. So I don't assume that God doesn't know the people related to the events that he's foreordaining. So if I understand the subsequent comments you made, then you seem okay with that. So I don't think that's a problem. I don't see why that would be a problem or why he wouldn't know that. Okay, I want to focus on predestination because Even though I got off on that one, just absolute idiot. People that come here and they waste my time and they project their insecurities and problems on me like that. I've had it. Not doing it, especially on that subject, where an elderly officer was murdered by two idiot criminals who laughed about it and displayed definite signs of retardation, maybe even physical handicap retard, like just gone. Again, what is it that compels a person to defend that type of behavior to the point where you criticize someone who calls it what it is? What other word would you use? I want to hear it. I don't care who it is. Does anyone have a better word than I use? Two kids, they're teenagers, right? These aren't like babies. They know exactly what they're doing. And their mom knew what they were doing. And they were out doing it in a car. And they drove up behind an elderly retired officer. And knowingly, even in the video, it says hit him. One of them says hit him. That's what they did. Mashed him. And killed him. And then drove off, laughing about it. Uploaded the video of the murder to social media. It was traced to them. You can see this yourself. Story I linked, and then it's all over the place. It's really sad. It's terrible. What other word would you use? What I call them criminal retard idiots. I would say they're getting off. That's pretty light, right? And no one's used to hearing anyone call any behavior out in this world, right? We're used to people being so passive and letting things happen, right? Letting people sodomize themselves, present pedophilic things, and sexualize their children all day long at schools. We practically don't care about anything anymore. So calling something like two murderous idiots out is like shocking, right? Greg, how dare you do that? How dare you call people who displayed actual indications of potential physical retardation and certainly, figurative retardation as, idiots and criminals. They murdered an elderly person. You know what? The fact that I have to dial this up over and over again to justify it to people like that is it's what makes me ruminate over. It's what makes me think, okay, what's going on now? Okay, now I'm seeing this saturation of stupidity reach a level that's unusual, okay? We're soaked in dumb. I've got people who come to my chat, my community board. They're interested in my scholarship, they say, but they're like drawn like flies to to my community board, or in their mind, right, by the honey to bees or something. Community board in real life, but they're the fly in their case. Either way, they come to the community board and they see a comment about two murderers who are idiots in everything they do related to the murder. And I'm the problem. It's so unbelievable. It does. It makes me think there's something else here. This is another level, right? This is another level, right? We might be seeing the first indications of social, just total disintegration. We might be reaching the point where now the stupidity is magnified. It's like everywhere. And it's just seeping into every area of our life. And we're like, I gotta stop that stupidity from entering. I gotta stop that. Like, I'm getting invaded by dumb. I can't stand it. I hate it. So I want like normal. It doesn't have to be. We don't have to be like Einsteins or special. No, just normal. I'm dealing with those people. Before that we were dealing with others. We had people. We had Sam and others, but it's not easy, everybody. It's not easy. You're dealing with a lot of this stuff, and yeah, we can ignore it or try things, and I do, right? But we have the live shows, we get the comments. I try not to delete people. I try to let these people show, hey, I got something to say. Yeah, I'm here at your channel. I want to comment. I got something I want to say. Okay, what is it? What do you want to say? And I'll come and read it, and hopefully it'll be good, and we can talk. And then I get that. And I get that, and I'm like, oh my God, what do I do? What do I got here? I got some a new level. Right? This is another level of retard, and I don't know. I got to deal with it, and it's where's Ricky? Okay, Everett has a question about predestination. I don't see anything else related to. I think we covered. Okay, so Everett says, I can't tell who's talking to who at certain points right now, but I can see Everett's question because he says my name. He says, Greg, Judas Iscariot is always the example used for predestination. What is your view of this seemingly predestined fate? Thank you. So, when we talk about predestination, foreknowledge, I don't deny, and I don't know anyone who does, including you, Everett, and correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know anyone who doesn't believe that God determines things beforehand, like specific events and things. The Messiah, and Ricky brought up Cyrus, Alexander, and you're bringing up Judas. I don't see that as a problem. What becomes a problem is when, like with the Calvinist or Reform position, right? They believe these things were eternally predetermined, not just predetermined from a specific point in the past, right? So I believe, for example, that God does select individuals who will be born that he knows, right? He knows all the lines of human families that can or will develop. And he knows that a certain type of person will develop. He knows everything, all the potential combinations, and he can affect things, make people come together, have children. He can make it happen easily. And that's what he did. So when you look at how everything was divided up, it's exactly what he did. So I don't see a problem. I just believe that the things he's foretelling, whether it's Cyrus, Alexander, Jesus, or Judas, all of those things were predetermined, including the people, but from a specific point in the past, after Adam and Eve sinned. Same with the elect, right? So the chosen ones, the Christians, basically, right? Us. We were predetermined from the founding of the world. This, right? This goes into what I was debating with Dr. Mori about, and I've debated with others about and written about. I have, if you haven't seen, bring this up real quickly. If you don't have my Jehovah's Witnesses Defended books, and my third edition would probably be the best one in this case, the most refined, the PDF edition, third edition revised. You can get a copy on Amazon or at elihubooks.com, the PDF version of JWD3. So I have a whole chapter 7, on the freedom of Jah and the free will of mankind. And after this, I have a chapter on salvation. But a lot of people They refer to my JW's defended books for Trinity stuff and NWT and divine name, and that's good to do. I have a whole chapter on this issue of God's sovereignty, the Reformed position versus our position, some on the Catholic position. I talk about my debate with Maury. I give sections from the debate. Right, some of this is written after the debate, and I talk about Maury, Dr. White, the Reformed theologians. Again, I did do writings in response to Maury's request after our 2006 debate. He never responded. I included parts of those responses in my 2012 revision of my third edition. Again, you can get that at Elihu or on Amazon. And there's a lot in here. Here is a section. So getting to Everett's, let me bring this up here. We'll make this more specific to Everett in this Judas question. Right, so on what page is this? Starting on page 456 of my third edition. Okay, now here's a section that relates to the account Everett brought up about Judas. And here you can see I referred to the excerpt from my September 27, 2006 radio discussion with Dr. Maury. It was supposed to be about the Trinity, but he changed it to be about the Watchtower and the Foreknowledge of God, right as the debate started. He still lost. Very obvious, I think. And then he lost after that by not responding to what he requested me to do. Start at minute 24, second 34. Here's the exchange. Dr. Maury, did God in fact know ahead of time, let's say, that Judas would choose to betray Christ? And does Scripture indicate that God's foreknowledge was complete and he knew everything everybody would do concerning the crucifixion? Me, he knew that it would happen, but woe to the one through whom it comes, quoting Jesus. In other words, I believe God knew who it would be, but we didn't know that. No one knew he would be named Judas, right? Until he was actually born and named Judas. God didn't foretell his name. He foretold what he would do. And then we found out who he was named later. So his question is, does Scripture indicate that God's knowledge was complete? He knew everything everybody would do before it happened concerning the crucifixion. My response, he knew it would happen, but woe to the one through whom it comes. In other words, what Jesus is saying, I'm quoting Jesus, whoever fulfills this is the one who's going to get punished. And that ended up being Judas. So that's why I said, woe to the one through whom it comes, quote Jesus. Maury, so in other words, me, that's Jesus' words. You see, Maury was actually objecting to Jesus' words. And he tried to change them into other words. You can listen to this debate on my debate playlist on the channel. So I pointed that out. That's Jesus' words. Maury, number 5. Even though Judas' betrayal was fully understood from all eternity. So Luke 22:22, it has been determined. Me, well, I wouldn't say that, right? He's adding all eternity. Maury, number 7. Well, Luke 22:22, he went to betray Christ as it had been determined. At the same time, me, number 8, but that doesn't say determined from all eternity. And that's the difference. We don't deny that God foreknew Jesus or Judas would betray Jesus. That's what Luke 22:22 says. It had been determined. It doesn't say from all eternity. And that's what these Reformed liars like Maury and Dr. White and others believe. They believe God foreknew this from all eternity. And like Maury right here, you can see he adds it to the text. Right during our debate, he's lying, misquoting the scripture. I'm quoting Jesus' words. He says they're other words. And so I say, no, it doesn't say determined from all eternity. Maury, well, yes, it does. Because as you take a word study of that word and you go over it to Acts 2 and Acts 4, right, he's way out of Luke 22:22. All I said was, it doesn't say from all eternity. It doesn't say that Judas had been determined to betray him from all eternity like he lyingly said. Right here. And so right here, I point that out, and then he lies again and says, yes, it does. And then he jumps from Luke 22:22 and goes to Acts 2 and Acts 4, where he says the crucifixion of Christ was foreordained from the foundation of the world, not from all eternity. Stafford, number 10. Well, that's not eternity. That's the foundation of the world. Right? He's telling me to do a word study. He's a Greek scholar. Ha, right? Of course, I'm not a dummy. Number 11, Maury. Before the foundation of the world, from all eternity. Number 12, Stafford. Yes, before Adam and Eve had children. That's the foundation of the world. Kataboles. I go through this extensively in my debate with Dr. Maury and in this chapter 7 of my JWD editions, which you can get at Lightbooks or Amazon right now, PDF or print. See how they lie? He keeps saying from all eternity. The text never, not one single time, say those words. And that's what we disagree with, everybody. It's not that Judas or Jesus or Cyrus or Alexander were determined beforehand. We all believe that. What we don't all believe is that that was determined from all eternity before it was even necessary, i.e. before the Garden of Eden and the fall of Adam and Eve. And they believe it was foretold even before that. Okay? So then I go on, I say, yes, before Adam and Eve had children. That's what that means, katabales, the throwing down of seed. That's what foundation of the world is, the throwing down of seed, the having of children. The creation of Adam and Eve is not the foundation of the world. It's and that's not from all eternity either. But even Adam and Eve's creation is not the foundation of the world. It's when they had seed, the throwing down of seed, katabales. Where is he getting from all eternity here? He's just making it up, like they do with Trinity and other stuff, right? But here it's with this subject. Before the throwing down of seed, I said God determined after Adam rebelled that the serpent would bruise Jesus in the heel, like I brought up earlier, and that thus foretold his betrayal at the hands of the one who eventually was named Judas. Just like I said a minute ago. Yeah, we didn't know his name was Judas, but we knew there was going to be someone who was going to do this. It was determined beforehand. And when he appeared, his name was Judas. Whether God foreknew or knew that through all the lines of naming and lineage, the one who would eventually fulfill what he determined beforehand would be named Judas or not is irrelevant. We don't know if he chose to foreknow that or not. Either way, that's who it came to be. And it wasn't foretold from all eternity. It was foretold after Adam and Eve sinned. Okay. And then I go on to describe more about the very text he refers to, right? Luke 22:22. Let me get over here. Which he totally misrepresented. It says, but look, the hand of my betrayer is with me at the table. because the Son of Man is going his way according to what is marked out. All the same, woe to that man through whom he is betrayed. The Greek for marked out in the above is horismenon, which is a form of the Greek verb horizo, meaning to determine, appoint, fix, set. It's the same sense I understand NABT is marked out. And also I believe the betrayal of Jesus was determined, marked out before it happened. Yet, as I told Maury, Luke 22:22 doesn't say determined from all eternity, right? It doesn't. That's a lie. Look at Maury's reply. Yes, it does. He literally said Luke 22:22 does say from all eternity. It not only doesn't say that in Luke 22:22, it doesn't say it in Acts 2 or in Acts 4, right? So, and then I go on, I discuss Acts 2 and Acts 4. I talk about the Greek, all of it. None of it proves that this was foreknown from all eternity, right? They're literally just lying to everybody, like you saw right there, like I caught Maury doing during our debate, right? The guy not only changed the subject as the debate started, he got annihilated. He got proven to be a liar like he is. Because if you know the Bible, it's not hard to do. Like I told everybody earlier, this subject, like the Trinity, it's become complicated. You know, you're getting all these different things and all these different positions and views. And, you know, it's real simple. They just, in order to get their doctrine, they have to lie. They have to pretend that these things were foreknown from eternity when that's not what the Bible teaches. They just add it. Right? They just make it up. And then we have to deal with it, right? We have to deal with people like that, Maury and others who just misrepresent the Bible for their own selfish views. We got to deal with the retards, right? Who have collapsed and broken down, right? And disintegrated in terms of their ability to properly deal with people and manage issues and subjects, and not totally collapse when someone's commenting on two murderers who acting like retards, right? Of all things. Let's see what else we got here. Got a little more time, and we spent some time dealing with the deranged commenter who decided it was appropriate to take issue with me over highlighting two murderous retards. Okay, Everett, so that's good. Good question, Everett. I appreciate that. Everett's been around a long time, and he's been very supportive. And maybe a couple times recently, I haven't been as open to some of the questions I think he asks sometimes for others. And I don't ever mean it personal toward Everett. I just, like you saw with that other guy, but it's not the same with Everett. Sometimes I just get questions about things that, to me, I either can't deal with or I've dealt with, and I don't know the people or what's involved, and I only know that I don't want to talk about it. You know, I've talked about enough, and I just have to deal with it. I'm limited on time. I try to do what I can. Nothing is ever meant in a personal way. Sometimes maybe I don't say things the best way. I understand that. I'm not perfect, and I do the best I can. I don't pretend to be. I'm not here trying to please people and be like something I'm not. I try to be open. I think that's something that's good. Even if it does kind of, quote unquote, let people down. You're not supposed to have an elevated view of me. You're not supposed to have an elevated view of anyone. That's what gets you in trouble. That's what gets you into these groups like Watchtower, and you start thinking these guys are all, no one's good. Have you not read that? Have you not read the text where Jesus said in Mark, why are you calling me good? No one's good. Okay, so that's me. That's you. That's Jesus. Why are you acting like people are good? And that's what's so weird to me, you know? Well, yeah, we're supposed to try to be good and get along and tolerate, but this idea that you're let down, right? What were you thinking? Why do you have this misappraisal of me that I'm something I'm not? Do you even know me? It didn't even seem like you've watched many of the videos. Like you've read my stuff, you came to the channel, and I guess we're drawn to the community section and just freaked out because I highlighted two murderous idiots. So weird, huh? Like, what is it you're expecting? And it's like with John, what are you people looking for? We're just people. We're nothing. We're not special in any other way than that we're trying to do what's right, and that we try to follow the light, and that we might know some things because of our experience and our reliance on God and his favor. That's it. There's nothing more. Everything else is just vanity. It's just personality. It's just people acting and trying to be the best they can be. We don't need you trying to make it harder, more difficult, especially when we're calling out people who murder others who are elderly in broad daylight and just call them idiot retard criminals, which is what they are. You don't like that? Have you read the book of Proverbs? Why are you here then? Right? Where do you get the time to spend the time to not read Proverbs and defend idiot murderous criminals? And I'm letting you down? What are you talking about? How dare you elevate me in your mind in some way that then puts this burden on me to act in a way I never agreed to, never presented. I'm just a person like you. Yeah, take what you can and go help people. Good. Don't talk to me about things that have nothing to do with facts and objective information. I don't need your opinion. I got plenty of people giving me their opinion all day long. No shortage of it. Yeah, I don't need yours. No, I'm very aware, and I don't care, usually. I'll think about it if I make a mistake or something, but most of the time, yeah, I mean exactly what I say. Yeah, if I think you're a pervert, boom, that's what I mean. You're sticking your cock in the wrong place. Doesn't go there. You put you put your cock in your anus, your mouth, you're a man, you're a pervert. Right, I can say that. Yeah, you're right, I have the right to say that. Nothing wrong with that at all. Those are normal terms used all the time, and they describe actual things. You don't like it? Hurt your feelings? Let you down? I don't care. It's your problem, not mine. You're the one who needs to grow up and become mature. I'm doing just normal things in life. Nothing bad, nothing great. So what are you talking about? Yeah, if you misuse your wiener, you're a pervert. Real simple stuff. You murder someone in broad daylight and laugh about it and upload it on social media, you're a freaking moron, dude. You're a kook, a dork. You should be locked up if not executed. Real simple stuff. How you can't figure that out and you're somehow drawn to make comments criticizing me over it. Whoa! That's another level, man. That's another level. I had to go off on it. It was so stupid and unbelievable. I'm like, whoa, where are these people coming from? What's happening? How is this actually taking place where people are feeling comfortable wasting their life criticizing me over highlighting two criminal idiots? Can you pick something else, man? Pick something like, if you're a watchdog person, maybe where what are you talking about? I don't understand. Oh, let me see here. Yeah, never hard feelings ever. And I don't always say things right. So if it ever comes out as too critical, I don't mean it that way. It would be the same for anybody. It just happens to maybe be something you said or commented on, or something you brought up but maybe didn't think I would care about, but that I've been dealing with a lot. And so, I can't always account for every circumstance and things. Like I even told Sam, we're never going to be able to avoid all negative things. There's too much going on. Of course, it's different with him. Try to be better with all of us. But still, I don't really know a lot of you very well. And if I don't draw a line somewhere on some subjects, even if I don't always get it right, I don't at least try to create a boundary and establish some order, then it's going to take away from what we do, right? And if that means like deleting videos that aren't as productive and a lot of people don't like I did, well, then that's what I'm going to do. If that means commenting on something that someone says or does in a way that I think I have to because it's coming up too much or distracting from the points then I just have to do it. I have to move on. I don't have much time as it is, right? When I'm done here, I got to work. I got to go eat. I got to do stuff, right? We're all busy here. I'm just trying to keep you guys pumped up. Trying to make myself available to keep me pumped up. He's talking about that guy that we read earlier, the moron we've been talking about. He's talking about me getting puffed up from him commenting about what? He likes my scholarship, but it's let down because I called two murderers retards? Why would he think I would get puffed up over that? Anyone who knows me knows I don't give up. Right? I don't care about none of that. Right? I mean, I criticize, I get into it with Everett and others who tell me and who like what I say too. This has nothing to do with you, pal. You are way in over your head. You are elevated in your thing. Everything you wrote about me, and that's you. You're projecting again. Trust me. Nothing you wrote, positive or negative, pumps me up. I mean, not in a positive way. It kind of fired me up in terms of how stupid you are, and I have to address it. You telling me you like my Scott? What are you, crazy? I don't care. You know how many people tell me that? You think your comment somehow is going to make me feel puffed up? I think you're stupid. Does it seem like I'm trying to get you to pump me up? I'm trying to get you out of here. Ha ha! I think you're taking away from everything. And you're saying I'm detracting from what? Your ability to enjoy the things you're taking from me? Oh, sorry. Sorry, it's harder for you to enjoy the free information I'm giving you. Why don't you just stop reading things that you don't enjoy and focus on what you like and leave me alone? Did I ask you for your opinion on about these stupid idiot murderers? Well, then why'd you give it? Nothing you say made sense, and it deserved being totally ridiculed and obliterated. If I see that again, I'm going to let people have it. I'm not going to be soft on people who come and waste my time over those level of murderous idiots. These are not common criminals. They're gone. Right? And the idea that you would somehow think it's appropriate to criticize me for calling them retard idiot criminals when they literally filmed themselves mowing down a retired elderly person? Just get out of here, right? Stop pretending you believe in the Bible. It's embarrassing. Let's see what else we got here. Looks like you guys are getting off onto Watchtower stuff and things, which, I mean, as the chat and it opens, it's fine. I'm trying to find things having to do with predestination, right? I wanted to make myself available to everyone. We haven't had a show really addressing predestination and foreknowledge in a while. We've talked about it in certain videos, especially in our Bible and text reading videos. I linked, if you go to my Maury debate video in the debates playlist, the pinned comment that I put there links to a video where I get into a lot of details about some of the accounts in Genesis that come up in my debate with Maury. But it's, I think, a good video to watch in association with that debate. So if you want more information there, I highly encourage that. Let me see what else. Let's see if I missed anything. Okay. Yeah, I think, I have that chapter, like I said in my Jehovah's Witnesses Defended. If you have, I think the second edition also has a chapter of that, although the third edition was after the 2006 debate with Maury, so it has more. Regardless of what, I know there's a salvation chapter in the first and second editions, then the salvation chapter in the third edition too. But the third edition really has the one with all the updated info, especially the PDF revised edition. The printed one too, and I was just using, I think, the printed one there. That has all, it was 2009 imprinted and then slightly revised. Not much added to that chapter in 2012, the PDF. I might do a fourth edition someday, you never know. But I might do separate books of all those different subjects presented in the JWD editions, including the sovereignty of God, salvation. So, but I need to get Proverbs out. I might focus more on the 4 great message gospel accounts after that. I got a lot of plans, right? Trinity stuff and other books, but the Bible's really my main focus. Getting the Bible done as best I can, as accurately as I can, and as up to date as I can is my primary goal at this point. In addition to everything else, and I do need to write more in terms of articles and books. I gotta get the Proverbs one out first. It's so good. I think anyway. I'm very happy about it. Spent a lot of time really, refining little things I think about sometimes as I'm doing them, and I think no one's going to realize how much time I spent on that one little teeny detail right there, just to make sure, right? Go over it and really understand it properly. And that's okay. I enjoyed it. It makes me feel, when I do like Proverbs work and deep translation and thought, that's when I feel my most peaceful, right? I feel like I'm almost saturated in spiritualness, like just existing. It has a spiritual quality that's different when I'm doing that. I don't know. Maybe I'm just thinking about it. And I'm in a spiritual mindset 'cause it's Bible, But it definitely like almost makes my mind numb in some way. Not numb like I can't feel anything. It's like almost full. Feels good. So when I do it, I start to feel it. I start to feel, okay, yeah, people are going to appreciate it. I think you'll really benefit. I know you will. I'm going to do the best I can to give everybody the best I have to offer to represent the teachings of Jah in the Bible. Okay, so there's a couple things. So Johnny Cumins says, can I ask about information saying Jah? I noticed Rastafarian saying Jah too. Is there any connection? Going to read Proverbs tonight. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's not like I like to go around calling people stupid or dumb. Again, it's only when I do it for people or things that are either deserving or like arguably deserving. Okay, I don't just go around calling people I disagree with ever. I don't just go around calling them retards or stupid. No, you have to do things beyond the norm for me to do that. I'm not aware of anyone where I've just like casually referred to them as a retard or stupid. I don't do that. But when I do it to people who act bizarrely and strangely, in my opinion, dumb, it's like people freak out. There's like a segment of people who I think they're just either that way themselves in regard to what I'm talking about, or they feel insecure that I'm doing what they know they should do. Like I said earlier, it's got to be one of the two, right? What else would be bothering them in that way? It's not, again, not like I'm using it for your just average. They even misrepresent things like that person did, calling the people I was talking about common criminals, right? I referred to Jesus who, called people graves with dead men's bones. And I called 2 murderers of an elderly person retarded criminals. And I'm the problem, right? Get out of here. It's really strange. So when I only do it occasionally, and then it becomes like this big federal issue because of what I said. I think either people are insecure about it, it's too close to home, the subject, whatever, or they're insecure because I'm doing something they don't have the courage to do. Or maybe they're just sensitive. Maybe that's part of it. They don't hear it that often, so it kind of rubs them the wrong way. I understand that. But I'm not you, okay? I don't expect you to become like me, and I don't expect to become like you except where maybe we find areas in each other that are, worth imitating. We're not supposed to judge people over these petty differences in personality with regard to subjects that each of us are able to address. I'm not required to go checking around with people to see if they like how I'm going to characterize two murderers. There's almost no way you can go over the top with that. Right? I mean, what would be bad for these guys in what we know and that they did? So it becomes just so whacked out. That's why I started out, and I've been kind of just going off on it intermittently in this whole show. I'm blown away. It just doesn't fit the parameters of what I expect from regular human behavior. It's gone beyond my expectation of what people are willing to spend their life doing or on. I would not have thought that. I just wouldn't have thought that would be the thing someone would say, hey, you're going too far, calling those murders of that elderly guy and laughing about it as they upload it to social media and act so stupid they could only be retarded. Yeah, that really bothers me right there. Really? Okay. I don't care. They're murders of an elderly person who served his community in ways where he didn't deserve that. And they lied about it. Their mom lied about it. They're criminals. They're retarded, and they acted retarded, and they gleefully shared it with others. Are you out of your mind? And when I just thinking about it again makes me want to call him an SOB all over again. I'm rarely pushed to that level, everybody. But again, I'm not here in a hateful way. I'm not here like just going unreasonably off on someone. I've got a problem with this person coming to my channel and commenting on something so stupid and criticizing me over how I address people like that. It's almost like, what? I can't have an opinion? I can't ever. You know what? I'm so sick of people expecting others to do what they want them to do. I'm almost going to go into a rebellious stage where I'm going to make sure I don't do what you do. You know what? I don't want you looking up to me. You understand that? I don't want you idolizing me to the point where you're let down because I call out two murderers for what they are. And you're too thin-skinned to deal with it. I don't want you looking at me like that. You're not supposed to be doing that. Shame on you. You get the Sam shame for that. You're not supposed to be doing that, you pervert. What are you looking up to me for? That's almost a perverted thing. Yeah, I'm just a normal person. I have information. You want it? Here it is. It's free. Get out of my face. Okay? Here's all the free stuff you get. And don't tell me about my personality when it comes to talking about two murderers. Is that a fair deal? Whoa. So crazy, man. Yeah, their mom saw the video, right? Or, if she changed her opinion after that, but no. From what I read, their mom said the truth will come out. And either the video was out, or if she didn't see it, then maybe we'll see, right? But from what I understand, the video was out. This happened a month ago. Okay? Yeah, this happened, I think, over a month ago. And these dorks uploaded murdering. It was initially reported, on August 13th, I think, or 23rd, as a bike accident. But then they found this video of these two idiots that they uploaded. They're so stupid. And they connected it with the accident. Look it up. It's the video of they have the whole act. You can find the murder, okay? You can find these two retarded criminals killing this elderly retired police officer on his bicycle. Like filming it in their car, ramming him and killing him. Goes right over the top. Gone. This is the lowest level of existence. Okay, they're gone. This is like manure. Okay, this is fecal matter level human beings. They're just garbage. They're done. I guess they could always try to change her if God chooses, but at this point, this is the lowest level you could get. Okay, driving around like two idiots and murdering an elderly person on a bike whose back is turned to you. Are you crazy? Just how pathetic and cowardly do you have to get to even exist as a piece of garbage in this world? And then you're attacking me. Okay. Yeah, right. Right, exactly, Johnny. And then after they get caught, oh, I'll be out in a month. I'll be out in 2. No, you're not going anywhere. Okay, your ass is grass and going to be the object of great sodomy before you are mowed down like the elderly person you killed. They're just so stupid, huh? Their parents are obviously also retarded. You're so dumb you can't bother to tell your son, hey, yeah, if you drive and murder an elderly anyone, yeah, you're an idiot. I just no. Instead, the kids are always right, and they have a problem. Like the guy who drove up and shot a police officer here in Southern California. His mother and his sister, after they found out who he was and he got out of the house, oh, he hears voices. Yeah, he's off his medication. Yeah, he's got a whole bunch of guns and ammo in there, and we don't say anything, and he seemed normal. Yeah, until he shot someone. Right? No, you're all idiots and retards, and you should have everything forfeited and probably be executed. Okay, you literally are raising a murderer and helping him murder people by keeping all those guns in his possession when you know he's off his medication. How can they not be held responsible? Okay, I don't say these things for the common criminal. That's another misrepresentation and lie. I rarely say these kinds of things for anyone. That's what has me so upset for these dorks that show up like I've all of a sudden said something that's so outrageous. I hurt their feelings. Yeah. Again, I'll tell you what you can do with your feelings, and you stop telling me what I can do with mine, okay? It really works well that way. Unless I ask you, which I didn't. So again, unless you're a baby, you have a lot of maturing to do. Yeah, there was another question here, though, that relates to our primary topic I want to get to before we maybe wrap this up. Oh, so Johnny, about Jah, Rastafarians. Go to the playlist on my channel about the divine name. There's a whole video in there about why the pronunciation Jah. And there's links in the divine name videos below to articles also. That's probably the best thing I can do right now to help you get more information. But I'll summarize and say quick. It's just the form Yod He of the divine name, Yah, Jah, is used in the Old Testament and in the New, Revelation 19, and it represents a standalone form of the divine name, including the fuller form, which is, I believe, the same, Yod He Wah and Yod He Wah He, with the final He in the Tetragrammaton being an O sound or an O sound marker, vowel marker. And so the full pronunciation of the divine name is Yah-O. The shorter pronunciation is Yah. Those are the two forms of divine name most credibly represented historically. You can watch those videos for more. And then we can talk about it if you want. Where's the... Richard God Hawkins. He says... and the heart of the Egyptian that was hardened by Jah. That proves that God controls everyone. Well, no, Richard, right? It proves that he controlled Pharaoh, right? And how did he control him? It says he hardened his heart. So his heart was already hard in a certain way. And as I understand that account, Jah made it so that couldn't change. Because he wanted to use Pharaoh for his glory, right? He's a sinful individual, abusive person, literally represents the serpent opposing him on his crown. And with his magicians and their staffs, which they were defeated by, of course. So Jah was not going to let Pharaoh prevent him from using him as an example. He's going to destroy him. You have the exact same thing in John chapter 12, do you not? When Jesus says, or when Jesus and John, quoting Isaiah, say that he talking about the Jews who reject Jesus, even though they could see that he's the Messiah based on what he's doing. Excuse me. It says in John 12 that quoting Isaiah, he hardens their hearts and blinds their eyes so they don't believe, right? So they don't turn around and believe, and he may heal them. Because Jah's so loving, right? If even evil people like Pharaoh and the Pharisees were to actually show signs of repentance, he'd probably forgive them. But if he doesn't want to, because you're Pharaoh and you're evil and you're opposing his people and his will, and you're the Pharisees who are evil and you're opposing, excuse me, his son and about to crucify him and put him to death in a torturous, humiliating way, he doesn't want you to believe. He doesn't want to heal you. He doesn't want to give you life. So Richard, it doesn't prove that God controls everyone. It proves that he can control whomever he wants. So if he doesn't want you to be saved, if he doesn't want you to believe, then he will harden your heart or blind your eyes so you don't. Doesn't mean he does that to everyone, because he doesn't want everyone not to believe. And so those who he lets believe, just believe. Maybe he makes some believe or points them to things that help them believe because he wants them to believe. It's up to him. So whatever he wants to do, it's his good pleasure. Whereas with Reformed positions, right, this is something he does without any regard to whether he likes you or nothing. It's an eternal choice, creed and all that stuff. Whereas in the Bible, it's all about whether he likes you. What are you talking about? Right? Abraham's a person after his own heart, right? Or David, someone after his own heart. Abraham's his friend, people he likes and doesn't like all the time. Jacob I loved, Esau I hated. Right? You could tell that even before they were born because of their genetic makeup and profile. That's the whole point of whether you're, that's the basis for why he chooses you. You're not chosen because you earn salvation. You don't perform enough good works to merit it. And they show your faith. So you have to have them. But he's still choosing you because of his mercy. It's always a mercy. It's always because of what he decides. Even if you're showing faith, right? Then that might be why he does it. But it's still up to him. You still sin, so it's up. He could still not give you life or give you life. Right? So like when Jesus says those who are resurrected to a resurrection of judgment and the others to a resurrection of life, that's literally what Revelation chapters 20 through 22 talk about. After 1,000 years, all the dead are raised. Everyone. And they're judged individually according to their deeds. And some are condemned. They're resurrected to be condemned. Exactly, yes. Yeah, I know, they died. That's the punishment for sin. And they're resurrected to be told that in spite of their sin, they didn't choose to try to fight against it, and so they're not going to get life. No. But the others, like Joseph, people who actually are sinful but who fought against it and showed faith, yeah, they're going to get life. They don't deserve it. They didn't merit it. They didn't earn it. They deserve to die just like everyone else did, and that's why they had to be resurrected. The gift God gives is life. The wages sin pays is death. I have a whole video about it. The first death, second death, and other videos. So people get so confused about these texts in Romans and elsewhere, right? We all die because we are deserving of death because of our sin. God's mercy and gift is to give those who fight against their sin, like Joseph and others, in spite of it, life. And those who don't, death, judgment. That's what the Bible teaches. I don't care. It doesn't matter what you think is reasonable or not. That's what the Bible teaches. Okay? You're condemning the Bible. It's literally what it says, word for word. All the dead are raised and judged individually according to their deeds. Some to a resurrection of judgment, some to a resurrection of life. It's that simple. John 5. But for some reason, people are like blown away, right? They get all caught up. They don't understand the whole 1,000-year reign. Great crowd. Our watchtower's totally lost. They're gone. They have been thinking the great crowd has been here for over 100 years. Well, almost 100 years, I guess. And it's not even here yet. And they're lost. It's over. There's no recovery for them. Watchtower is done. The sooner you get out of there, the better. And if you're trying to hang on, you're done. Right? You're literally openly mocking God by following these liars who can't stop teaching what everyone knows is wrong, and neither can you. And that's why you probably belong there. You belong on a sinking ship. Go down. Go right down with it. The world will be a better place without people who are supporting known false teachers and liars and openly resisting factual information. All right, so let's see. Did we answer that? Let me go back to that. What was that question that Richard Godhawkins said? Oh, yeah. Right, so he hardens certain people, right? So he doesn't control everyone. He just controls some people, right? When he doesn't want them to be saved or believe, then he's not going to let them turn around, which proves, Richard, that they could have, right? In John 12, quoting Isaiah, when it says he hardens their hearts and blinds their eyes so they won't turn around and see and believe. Well, if he already predetermined them not to believe, why would he have to do anything? Why would he have to interfere with the potential for their belief? Because they might turn around and believe it, and he doesn't want them to. Because he knows they have the actual option. He's not controlling them. He is limiting things they can do. He limits everyone. That's not control, though. That's limiting what your choices are, what your options are. It's not controlling what you're going to choose. And in the cases where he does, like he blinds their eyes and hearts, that proves that you would otherwise get to choose. Same with Pharaoh. Why would he have to harden Pharaoh's heart if Pharaoh was already predetermined not to be anything but hard in his heart? He wouldn't have to do anything. He already predetermined that from all eternity. So why worry about blinding them or hardening their heart? It's over. Right? He's already decided. Because that's not the case. That's not how it is. That's why. All right, see if there's anything else here on the subject of predestination. We talked about a few things. We kind of got off a little. It's kind of upset in a righteous way, I believe, about this moron who came here to criticize me about two criminal morons. I'm so sick of these perverts who come here and don't know the Bible, don't even know that Proverbs identifies almost every single type of stupid person you can imagine, that Jesus openly condemned in vile terms people because they deserved it, just like Paul did, just like you did, and just like I did. I'm not calling people who are undeserving. They videotape themselves doing this. It's one of the most despicable, disgusting things from a biblical perspective you can imagine. And if you're in any way supportive of these two murderous idiots, there's no need for you to come here. We're never going to do it. We're never going to be on the same path. You go your way, I'll go my way. I'll have Jah on my path. You can go hang out with all the murderous kooks who think it's fun to drive around and film themselves murdering an elderly person. Yeah, if you think the God Jah thinks that's anything but unbelievably horrific and disgusting, you're stupid, okay? I'm here to warn you, hey, you better knock off the dummy stuff, or you might have a couple bears coming down looking for you. If you think you can just act disgusting and murderous toward people who are made in Jah's image and get away with it, you're finished. And you have the time to criticize others who call people out for that stuff, you're finished. And just call it a day, man. It's a wrap. For some of you, it's over, right? For some of us, it's just over. If I didn't turn around and get my stuff together, it's over. There's people that are done. They're running to Watchtower to sink down on the ship that's sinking. They're like trying to get on a sinking ship or stay on. We got people spending their life commenting about me, highlighting the idiocy of two murderers, of an older person, ramming them with their car from behind. I mean, some of the most disgusting and despicable activities. And their ridiculous mother justifying it, raising these two pathetic wretches. She should be condemning and disowning them for their patheticness. Uploading a video of a murder of an elderly person, and you're proud of that? You're a retard. People laugh at you. We think you're stupid. How about that? How about you're a clown? You're a freaking clown show. You're not going to do nothing either. You know why? Because Jah is going to show you how stupid you are. And you're not going to be able to do anything about it because you've already given yourself to the one who's the Lord of flies and dung. So you have no power here. You have no power anywhere. And you're not getting out in 1 or 2 months. You're done. All right. Anything else on any of these subjects? Let's take a look. Johnny Cuman says they stole like 4 cars that day. Yeah, I guess that might be even not a common criminal, right? Common criminals, 4 cars in one day. I would say that's a level retard, lifestyle. But to videotape yourself murdering an elderly person on a bike from behind, laughing about it and then uploading it and getting caught because you're so stupid, not only to do that, but to upload you doing it. Look, people. I mean, that's why I was so upset, that someone would actually take the time. I think the person has like 17,000 subscribers too, right? People are actually like subscribing to these people who actually come to me to get their information. But then when they get all butthurt over me actually stating what's true over 2 of the most ridiculous retards doing one of the most despicable acts and videotaping themselves doing it, I just can't, I have to let it out, right? I have to let the world know, hey, these people are out here. Yeah, right here in my chat, I was talking about these 2 murderous retards killing an elderly man, laughing about it, and then uploading it, and their mom being dumb also. And then I got this person coming here and criticizing me over it, right? They're out there, okay? I'm doing a public service. I'm warning you. There's not just murderous retards with mothers who are dumb out there. There are people who will overlook all of that and then attack someone they get their scholarly information from because I call out the people for their murderous, retarded acts. They can't figure it out and how to work it together, and it's all bothering them, and they're just, all they care about is that I keep giving them free information they can use to argue with other people. But if I dare offer an opinion about 2 murderous rejects with a lying mother, I'm a bad person. Yeah, how about no? And I don't care what you say, and I'm just going to continue to expose all of you ridiculous people, right? You want more of this? I got more. I'm tired of it. You should be out here criticizing people who I'm criticizing so that there's a escalating voice of criticism against dumb, so people actually stop promoting perverted lifestyles because you're not too scared to call it out. Yeah, that would be something. That'd be the day. Where'd that day go? How did we get here? All right, last question of the day or comment. Let's see what Everett says. He says, I look at Pharaoh's hardening of heart situation similar to Romans 1, where God gives them up to their own unrepentant passions. He basically gives them all they can stand because of resistance. I think that's similar. I see the Pharaoh hardening a little bit more in the John 12 Isaiah light, where it's more active on God's part. Whereas what you're saying, Everett, is similar, but it's more like what I was saying the other day. Like one of the worst things God could do is just leave you be, right? Abandon you and not help you with anything. Like you come to your own devices, like those two retard murderers, right? They're gone. So he's nowhere near them, right? And so I see a little more active sense in which God like really dislikes Pharaoh. The idea that God liking or disliking someone doesn't play a role in him choosing you is so stupid. Like God doesn't like or dislike people, and therefore, like we're talking about with Pharaoh or with the Jews who rejected and killed his son, that he wouldn't dislike certain people to the point of actively not letting them believe. That's crazy. There are all kinds of people who choose to do things that make perfect sense for me that God would not want them to believe. Yeah, he loves the world and wants everyone to believe, but when you demonstrate you don't believe, to the point where you kill his son or want to continue enslaving and torturing his people after he has told you to let them go, you are going to die. And he's not going to allow you to escape your judgment at his expense and glory. It's over. He gave you choices. How many times did he go to Pharaoh and tell him, let him go? Okay? It's over. At one point, he decided that's it. He's not going to let him go. I'm going to harden his heart. And even before he probably sent Moses, no, he's not going to let you go. I already know that. I already know what kind of person this is. I've known him his whole life. I knew him before he was born. He's not going to let you go. But you're going to go in there anyway, and he's going to tell you no, and then he's going to tell you yes. And then he's going to come after you. And then I'm going to show you my glory. And he's not going to believe. And that's the same with the Jews in Jesus' day. I'm not going to let them turn around and believe. Not after the way you treated my son. You think I'm going to allow what could take place from here to there to cause you to believe? No. I'm going to blind you. I'm going to harden your heart so you don't believe. Which I again believe shows he didn't predetermine them not to believe. That he chose to make them not believe. And that if he didn't choose to make them not believe, it's possible they could have believed. So all of this, in my view, disproves and refutes the Reformed view of God eternally determining beforehand everything and everyone that's going to do these things. And who's going to be chosen or not chosen from eternity. Yeah, I do believe all these things are defined beforehand after Eden, right? That's when we get the prophecy of the seed and all the other prophecies, not from all eternity. Just like I showed you from Dr. Maury in our debate, where he lied, literally added words to Luke 22:22 and misrepresented Acts 2 and Acts 4. And I exposed him about it all. So it's right there in my JWD editions, 3rd edition, mostly on the chapter 7 sovereignty issue. And there are other videos like the text readings of Genesis that complement that debate with Maury. Now we have this video that I believe will contribute. You know, I might delete certain parts that are where we got into the, ridiculousness of certain retards. But, I'll leave it for a while because I know you guys like the comments and stuff. And if I delete certain sections of videos, it takes the comments away. So I try only to do that if it's necessary. But if it makes the video better in terms of the predestination, if I think the first hour was too heavy on this whole ridiculousness, then I can just delete that and streamline it toward the predestination discussion parts that we had. You can always do another part as well. Either way, hopefully it was beneficial to you to have this video and live discussion. Thank you for joining me. Appreciate all the time. Thank you for joining me yesterday. Be back next Saturday with CW Jaw Live discussion number 32. I've got more uploads I'm going to be doing. I'm doing a lot of work behind the scenes. I really appreciate all of you. Thank you for supporting the channel and our beliefs and trying to help other people. And I'll keep doing the best I can, make improvements where I can, but I'm not going to tolerate ridiculousness. I have my own way of dealing with it. It may not always be the thing you prefer or like, but I do the best I can. I moderate or modify things I do if I have to, whether it's with Sam or whether it's with this kook, right? But I also want to be myself to you. I don't want you looking up to me and idolizing me and thinking that I'm good. Yeah, I try to be good. I'm not trying to be an evil person. I'm still not good, though. You shouldn't be looking up to me in that way or anybody. If it helps you to look up to me because of my experience and teaching about Jah, great. That is not a license for you to then judge me over my personal choices and responses to people you don't know when you don't even know me and I don't even know you. So if you like the things that I share with you for free where it comes to Jah, Jesus, you and me, great. If you don't like the other stuff, I don't need to hear it, okay? Just don't listen to it. Don't watch it. Don't like it, whatever. No one's forcing you. And you can tell pretty quickly what the subject's about. So unless I do something really out of control and sinful or offensive, you're free to take issue with that. Sometimes it might always be clear, but hey, something offends you, that's okay. Me calling two murderers who videoed themselves and uploaded it to get caught and then acted dumb after getting caught, calling people like that criminal idiot retards is not Matthew 18 stuff. Okay? You didn't even have one other person to bring with you, by the way. And you're the only one who brought it up. And I don't have to speak like you. I don't have to use the words you use. Do you go walking around calling people graves with dead men's bones? Oh, so you don't even use the words Jesus uses, do you? Okay, good. So then think of me that way. Not as in Jesus like perfect, but using words you don't use. He says people are dead bones in graves. He literally calls people that. Graves with dead bones in them. Yeah, it's not very nice, is it? Does that detract from his message? No, because he's being honest and truthful, isn't he? They actually are that. And while it's sometimes hard to see that, it's not hard for me to see who's a retard and who's a criminal. Okay? So if what I describe people as actually fits, and it's not a common criminal, shut your mouth. Keep your comments to yourself. And I won't have to embarrass and humiliate you for acting like a fool. To everyone else, I apologize if I had to get off on these things in ways that weren't like the most productive, the most spiritual. But unfortunately, it's like with Jude, right? What does Jude open up and say? Brothers, I wanted to write to you about the faith we have in common. I wanted to write to you about our shared hope. But certain people have crept in. They're like gangrene. They're rotten. And they're trying to trip you up. So I got to stop talking about this message, this great message that we really all want to talk about. And I got to talk about this danger in these people who come in among your Christian meetings and time together and post and say things that are not true and that misrepresent what's happening and who don't take a stand against the things that are actually despicable and happening. So with that in mind, I hope everything I said was helpful to you. And if it wasn't, just ignore it. Take what's good. Benefit yourself in every way that you can. I'll keep doing what I can. And I'll see you all next Saturday. Until then, may Jah bless you in Jesus.